Hello and happy Sunday. It's Sunday morning here in the jungle, a very rainy morning today, and probably is going to rain like hell for the rest of the day. I hope you're having the most incredible, beautiful Sunday, relaxing, doing something wonderful for yourself, treating yourself well, having a nice meal, just giving yourself love. Hello, Ken. So good to see you. In today's live, I want to talk about letting go of good to experience greatness. What does this mean? Sometimes we are meant to let go of the perfection of life in order to create something even better. And a lot of people would not understand that. A lot of people would be like, yeah, but you have it all. You have it all. Why would you do it? Why would you let go of the things that are working, that are fine? Why? Because you want to experience a zest of life, full life. You want to feel truly alive. Happy Mondays! Hi Mimi, so good to see you. The reason I want to talk about this topic today, what it means to let go of the good to create greatness, is because I am going through this very interesting and exciting transition in my own life right now. I am based in the Brazilian jungle in the Bahia region for almost a year now. It's been almost 1 year since my arrival to a place I could have never even imagined or envisioned. I never thought about it. It never even crossed my mind to go to Brazil. And it was something that so many people reflected back to me how amazing, what an idyllic life I live. What a paradise. And it really is. If you have seen some of my videos, living in the jungle, close to the ocean, sun is shining, summer all year long, it's absolutely incredible. Since my arrival to the jungle here in Brazil, I truly found what it means to live a magnificent life. What it means to feel blissed every single day. What it means to be grateful for life every single morning I wake up. Hi, Galeria. What it means to create and live a life that is so incredibly beautiful and so magnificent and so miraculous that in many ways you have to pinch yourself. Vikram, good to see you. And yet, you might live in the paradise, you might have everything sorted, you might feel like everything is good. Life is good. Your work is good, your relationships are fine, your friendships are okay. Everything seems to be right in the right places, in the right shelves. And somehow, deep down, you feel like something is calling you. Your soul is speaking to you. Something is happening internally, some kind of turbulence is trying to move you out of your comfort zone. Same here. Right? Hi, Phil. Something is talking to you. There is an inner voice inviting you to something bigger. It's calling you to experience something greater, something even more extraordinary, even more magical. And you know what? So often people live life that is fine, that is good, but it doesn't have that spark. It doesn't have that aliveness. It doesn't have that magic. It's just fine. It's good. I have these kind of conversations with my brother sometimes. Every time I ask him how things are going, he's like, yeah, it's good. Work, home, family, home, work, vacation, holiday, home, work. And then I'm like, are you actually happy? Are you grateful? Are you content? There's nothing wrong with living a very simple life. My life is pretty damn simple. But what I really want people to experience is miracles, magic, excitement, enthusiasm, synchronicities, something that blows their freaking minds, something that they could not ever expect, could not even explain. They wouldn't even dream about it. It's out of the picture. It's out of the books. It's not in the books at all. And so here's the thing. When I arrived in Brazil, I thought, this is it. This is the place to be. I'm staying here. I'm settling in. This is my home. This is where I come from. I had this knowingness in my core that this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where I'm meant to be. These are my roots. It makes no sense. Logically, it makes zero sense. I'm very much Lithuanian. My entire family is very much Lithuanian. I have nothing to do with Brazil. And you know what? It's interesting actually now that I reflect on that. When I was a child, since I was 5 probably, we were watching the World Cup, football, soccer, World Cup, World Championship. And every single time I was cheering for Brazil. Well, Lithuania obviously wasn't even on the map when it comes to football. It's probably one of the last in the rankings. But I didn't cheer for any of the neighboring countries. I didn't cheer for European countries. I didn't cheer for Netherlands, UK, Germany, Sweden. I liked Sweden though. But I always cheered for Brazil. Always. For years and years and years. And I couldn't explain it. I was like, I just love the way they play football. They see football not as this thing that they do, not just as sport, but they see it as art. They see it as dance. And every time I saw Brazilian teams playing, I was like, oh my God, this is, it's so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. And so there was something about Brazil that lived inside of me and I couldn't explain it. Hi, Steph. Hi. Good to see you. So, when I was here, it felt like home. It was like, oh my God, it's so amazing here in Brazil, in the jungle. Life is so awesome. And of course, I settled in and I integrated to the extent that I integrated. I didn't learn the language yet. Somehow, other languages don't land very easily for me. But I built this really beautiful lifestyle and life with my dear friend Tio, with the 3 dogs and this beautiful property. I grew so much in the meantime. And I was like, I'm gonna establish myself here. This is going to be my base, or at least one of my bases. It's amazing. And then something happened. And then I realized that something needs to change. Now here's some context. I see normally when I lived in Europe, I went to visit my family every 4 to 6 months. for a week, for two. It was a consistent thing to go visit my dad, my grandmothers, my aunt, my uncle, everyone else, about 2 times a year. And when I came here in Brazil, I was like, you know what? Okay, I will go a little bit less frequently, but that's fine. That's not a big deal. I talk to them almost every day. I chat to my grandma every week. Everything is going to be fine. It doesn't matter that I'm this far away. And the thing is that there was resistance for me to go and spend more time with my family. Somehow I felt distant from them. I felt like there's something not clicking. Like I love them so much and they love me so much. And yet I felt like they don't quite understand my choices. They don't quite understand my lifestyle. For them, it's like out of this world. It's very uncommon, very unconventional. And I had resistance to spend more time, to spend prolonged periods of time with them. So every time I would go twice a year, it usually would be about 7 days max. Sometimes it would be longer. And so I had this thing about spending time back in Lithuania, spending time back with my family. I left Lithuania in 2012 for good. For the first time, I left back in 2011 for an exchange semester. That's when the doors opened, my mind opened like, holy moly, like this is what the world looks like. I want that. I want to experience people, cultures, connections. I want to experience the world. I want to experience variety. I want to experience differences. I want all of it. So I decided to move out and go abroad. And in 2012, that happened. And ever since that time, I lived in 6 other countries. Most of them within Europe and now in Brazil. So it's been quite a while, right? It's been about 12 years now. And so, just recently, a couple of days ago, I was like, I have this amazing, beautiful life here in the paradise in Brazil. Nothing to complain about, nothing wrong with any of it. I just love it. Most of the people I know would be like, oh my God, you truly live in the paradise. It's magical. It's the dream. It's a dream life. And then an idea came. Ruti, you've got to go back to Lithuania and spend time with your family. And I was like, what? What does this mean? Well, you're meant to book a one-way ticket back to Lithuania and stay with your grandma for a while. And I was like, what? Why would I? And I just couldn't understand it. And then bit by bit, I started realizing what that was. First of all, so often, like I said earlier, we get used to the good life, the decent life, the fine life. So often we get used to the comfort. And then there's an opportunity for growth. There's an opportunity to create something bigger than yourself, to do something that's out of your comfort zone, that expands who you are. It calls you. And also, so true indeed. And also, there are other reasons, such as you just can't explain it, but you feel like there's something for you there. there's something for you to learn. There's something for you to experience. There are memories to be created. There are challenges to be overcome. Because guess what? When I had that thought, when it crossed my mind for the first time that you're meant to go back to Lithuania for a while, I was like, oh my God, that's going to be heavy. That is going to be challenging. Because my family lives in the north of Lithuania in a relatively small town. My grandma lives in a district with gray, big Soviet Union type of buildings. Gray, a lot of gray. And I just envisioned myself in that environment, and I was like, how can I ever thrive in an environment like that? How? Can I do this after living this amazing life all these years? After living in amazing cities before going and moving to Portugal first and then moving to the jungle in Brazil in front of the ocean, can I go back to Lithuania and be in that environment with those gray Soviet Union buildings? Can I spend time with family who has never done any personal development work? Can I spend time with my grandma who is over 80 years old and, well, is getting old? Can I? Can I live with her? And you know what? The answer was, it's not about whether you can or you cannot, because you can always make it happen. It's what you're meant to be doing. What your heart is telling you to do. What your soul is guiding you towards. What is your intuition telling you? What are the inner voices whispering to you? And it might not seem like an obvious thing, because my first reaction was like, no way. But then I leaned into it. And then it was like, yeah, there's something for you there. There's something greater. And in this comfort zone, it's amazing, life is wonderful, but there's something more for you. And that environment, it might seem like it's gray and it's heavy and it's challenging, but really it is going to be liberating. Why? Because I choose that to be the case. I choose that to be the story. I choose that to be my experience when I go there. And instead of seeing gray buildings, I will choose to see beautiful, colorful buildings. I will program my mind to see beauty everywhere I go. I will program my mind to see anything that I can be grateful for. I will program my mind, even on a cloudy day, to see bliss and beauty and sun and rainbows. I will program my mind to always choose evidence that everything is working for me. And it's not a challenge. It's just something that I need to experience and grow out of. But sometimes we mix that feeling up with running away from something. So in my case, indeed, that's a very good point. Very good point. Oftentimes, we feel like we need to run away somewhere. Like, oh, it's going to fix all of my problems. I will pack my stuff. I will go to Spain. I will go to Greece. I will go to Mexico. I will go to Costa Rica. I will go to Hawaii. I will go to Australia. And it will fix all of my problems. I will go to Thailand or Bali. And it will fix all of my problems. Well, guess what? All of those problems are exactly in your suitcase. Wherever you go, your problems, your inner turmoil travels with you, free of charge. If you succeed in this, you will be the most happy person on earth. That's the point. That's the point. The point is, we think that the easy way out, we think that the path of least resistance is the easy path, is something that doesn't bring you any challenges, doesn't bring you any obstacles. It's basically the comfort zone. But it's not the case at all. The path of least resistance is when you follow your calling, when you answer your calling, when you follow your truth. Even if to the rational mind it makes no sense. Even if you would think, what? You live this life in the paradise, the dream life. Most people would be like, would do anything to live that. And now you feel a calling to go and do this? Are you crazy? Well, the path of least resistance is answering that call, even if it doesn't make any sense. Even if some people would say you're completely out of your mind, you're crazy, it makes no sense whatsoever. What? How many stories I've heard of people who, for example, one person that I had a conversation a while ago, he was like, yeah, I had everything. I had a house. I lived an amazing life. I think it was in Portland, in the US. It was like, yeah, I had it all. I had a house, I had a car, I had a good income, I had everything. And then I felt the calling to sell my house, to sell the car, pack my stuff, sell my belongings, and just go travel the world. Made no sense. I was very comfortable in my life. Everything was great. But I answered the calling. And I'm a different person today. And so here's the thing. When you answer that calling, even if it's scary at first, even if it makes no sense at first, after doing that several times in my own life, I can tell you this. You always come out on the other side brighter, wiser, happier, healthier, more excited, more loving, kinder to yourself and others, more compassionate. You connect with your soul deeper. You connect to other people better. Your life becomes more magical because you start creating stories. You start living by stories. You're no longer living the same life over and over again, the predictable life. You're living by stories that you create. You're living by memories that you create. You know, I was on holiday just a couple of weeks ago, and we were traveling here in Bahia region. And so we spent almost 2 weeks without the doggies. And before going on this holiday, I was like, I can't imagine being separated from these 3 angels because they're so freaking cute. And we spend so much time with them, and they snuggle every morning. I open the door and they jump in my bed, and I love them so much. And you know what? For those 2 weeks when we were away, I was so in the present moment. I was so immersed in the presence of what I was experiencing that I completely forgot about the doggies. It crossed my mind from time to time, but it wasn't at all something that I was missing. The feeling of missing wasn't there. A lot of the times people ask me, how do I feel about my mom who passed away 13 years ago? When I was 23, she was 47. And I'm like, I don't miss her because she's always with me. There's nothing to be missed. I'm enjoying my life to the fullest. I'm so anchored in the present moment. There is nothing to be missed. I feel a calling to go back to Lithuania for a while, not because I miss my family, but because there is a calling. I feel them with me all the time. They are with me all the time. Wherever I go, they are with me. Their voices are in my head. Their hearts are in my heart. Their essence is with me all the time. So there's nothing to miss because I am whole. I am here in the here and now. I practice gratitude where I'm at. There's nothing missing. There's nothing lacking. That is what it means to follow your soul's guidance rather than running away from something, rather than being driven by something that is lacking. There's nothing lacking. There's no scarcity of anything when you live in alignment with your soul, when you live in the present moment, when you're being in the here and now, when you're connecting with yourself, your body, nature around you, people around you, pets around you, environment, strangers on the street, strangers in the supermarket. You're not in your head. You're in the here and now. True, but sometimes it's a long way to go. It is a long way to go. It's not something that happens overnight. It's not even something that happens over a couple of months. Honestly, in my opinion, it's a lifelong journey. It's not something that you do. I will do personal development for a couple of weeks. I will go through the program, or I will work with a coach for 6 months, and off I go, and everything is fine, and I'm good. It's a constant journey. Constant journey. Happy Sunday, Carson. Good to see you. It's a constant journey. It's devotion to your life. It's devotion to life itself. When you live a life in connection, in engagement with everything that is happening, internally and externally, where you respond with consciousness, you respond with care, you respond with curiosity, you respond with love. If there is any turbulence going on, you respond with love. Just this week, earlier this week, I had a huge breakthrough. I cried so much. I was like, oh my God, why is this happening? It's never going to end. And then I realized, it's like, it's not meant to end. It's not meant to end. Nothing is meant to end. It keeps on going. You die and you're born again, over and over and over again. Over and over and over again, you recreate yourself, you reinvent yourself. Every single day you have a choice to be a different person. So when I had that insight earlier this week, I was like, holy shit. I don't have to figure something out. I don't have to figure shit out. I don't have to go do all these things in order to get to somewhere, in order to get to that destination, or in order to get that result, in order to achieve that goal. I don't need to do anything like that. It's not a destination. It's not to figure it out. Why? Because me living my life fully, me engaging with life, me following my heart, following my intuition, is exactly what will bring me to those results. So I'm not supposed to be searching, seeking. I'm not supposed to be figuring it out. I'm supposed to surrender intentionally to life itself and go experience life fully. Create it. Go do something awesome. Go do something that your past self wouldn't do normally. That's what it means to live life fully. When you're like, holy moly guacamole, like my life is so full. Like, it's a constant workshop, it's a constant growth. It's like a roller coaster, and it's so exciting and it's so awesome. And yes, it comes with some resistance. Yes, sometimes it triggers something inside of me. And every single time you get out of it wiser, better, happier. Hi Maria, so great to see you. Every single time you become a better version of yourself. Every single time it moves you in the right direction, in the direction of your soul's blueprint. Every single time you answer the call, every single time you follow your heart, and you're willing to let go of the good, the fine, it's good enough, and you decide that you want extraordinary, you decide you want magical, you decide you want great, you decide you want to feel amazing in your own skin, and you're willing to go on that journey. That's what it means to go on a hero's journey. That's what it means to deeper surrender to life. That's what it means to truly fall in love with everything. With yourself, with your soul, with people in your life, with your work, with your craft, with your art, with life itself, with your environment, wherever you are. Even with those gray buildings, post-Soviet great, huge, tall, scary buildings. And you start looking at them like, interesting. I come from here. My family comes from here. That's where they grew up. They raised me in an environment like this. How cool is that? What a miracle. And now look where I am today. I live this life. What? How cool. How amazing. How magical. But that is only possible if you're willing to do what it takes. Even if, like you said, Stefan, even if it feels like it's taking forever, even if it's a long way. And sometimes it really feels so discouraging and so disempowering. And it's like, oh, it's a never-ending story. When is it going to end? It doesn't have to end. Because if it ends, you're dead. When it ends, there's nothing more to do. Perfection is not something that you want anyway. You think you want it, but that's precisely what this life is about. Perfection is just good. It's like, okay, like, do I feel excited to wake up in the morning? If everything is perfect all the time, there's no excitement, there's no enthusiasm, there is no challenge. It doesn't make me feel eager and driven to go and overcome my challenges, to go and overcome my insecurities and doubts and fears. When you have fears and doubts and insecurities, they are actually welcoming you to step up, to face them, to lean towards them and be like, okay, I have this fear. I have this fear of showing up. I have this fear of being vulnerable. I have this fear to show who I really am. I have this fear of opening up to my partner. Does it help me to have this fear? Does it help me to be, terrified of being vulnerable? No, actually, it just holds me back from living my best life. So I will lean towards it. I will look that fear, that doubt straight in the eye, and I will be like, you know what? Thank you so much for trying to protect me from being hurt. Thank you so much for trying to protect me from experiencing pain, from feeling like I'm not heard, not understood, not supported, not loved. Thank you so much for doing your best to protect me. But you know what? I'm stronger than this. I'm stronger than the fear. And being real and raw and being authentic and being open and honest builds a foundation of strong relationships with myself, with other people, with the people I love. And here's the thing. So often we don't ask ourselves, what truly matters to me in life. What truly matters to you in life? What do you really, really, really want? What do you desire? What is it? What do you want? What do you want? What does your heart truly, truly desire? Is it freedom to travel the world? Is it love, being in a beautiful relationship? Is it seeing your kids being happy? Is it helping other people and building a business that really changes the world and really makes a difference? What is it? Maybe all of them, a combination of them. But you have to become crystal clear. What do you desire? What is meant for you? These kind of questions I started asking myself back in 2018, not 8. For the first time, I started looking at myself in the mirror and wondering, Ruti, what do you want? You've lived life for other people. You've people pleased. You did what others expected of you. You were just going with the flow, whatever was happening. And now, what do you truly, truly want? What is it? What would set your soul on fire? What do you envision yourself to experience? Becoming a parent? Living in a paradise destination? Building a community of like-minded people? Going against the odds in the corporate world and doing things differently than you're used to or people in your organization are used to? Truly shifting the culture in that organization where everything seems to be decided, and now you're like, I will bring my own new spin. I will do it my own way. I will bring in new insights, new perspectives. I will bring in spirituality. What is it? What do you truly want? What do I really want? The most difficult question in my life. Well, what might help you to clarify that for yourself is start small. You don't have to think in this huge, big, far, far away somewhere vision. You can think about what is the smallest thing that I can do right now that feels in alignment with what feels really good to me, comfortable, exciting, a little bit terrifying, but something that turns me on. It's like, oh, I can do that. What is it? What's that baby step? In which direction is it leading you? So often we overthink the bigger scheme and then it feels like the gap is just too large. We've got to close that gap and be like, okay, what's the next best thing that I can do? What is it that I can focus on right now that will bring me further, that will bring more clarity, that will make me feel more excited, that will spark imagination, that will spark vision, that will make me see things differently? Who can I talk to? What kind of workshop can I join? Who can I reach out to? What kind of book can I read? What can I do to steer it up a little bit and bring some clarity in? So, what I really wanted to land for you in this live is that life is not just about perfection. Life is not just about the good, it's fine. I don't want you to live a fine life. I don't want you to live a good life. I don't want you to live a mediocre life. I don't want you to live a regular life. I want you to live your life. I want you to live your truthful life. I want you to live an aligned life, an authentic life, a raw and real life. I want you to live a magnificent life. I want you to live a magical life. And the reason why I want you to live that is because it truly, truly makes such a difference. Because who I used to be a couple of years ago compared to how I live my life today and who I am today is literally a day and night difference. The way I feel every single day, the way I wake up every single morning, the way I approach life, how I feel, how confident I feel, how comfortable I am in my own skin, the standards I set for myself, the type of people I surround myself with, the people I look up to, and those who, in fact, become my peers. It's absolutely mind-blowing what is possible when you start treating your life with higher standards, when you raise the bar and you're no longer tolerating a mediocre, regular, good, fine life. Because it's just, your life is too short. Your life is too short to live a life that is not in full alignment. And if you want more and better, if you want a more significant life, if you want more exciting memories, if you want more incredible experiences, if you want deeper connections, then this is the way to go. To go on that hero's journey, to follow your truth, to follow your soul, to follow your voice. Even if it seems like it's uncomfortable, even if it seems much more comfortable on the couch doing the same thing. It's more comfortable, but damn, it's nowhere near as fulfilling as when you actually face what you have to face. And that is the path of least resistance. When you follow your heart, no matter how challenging it might be. So I hope this lands for you. If you want more of my support, I have a Telegram group. Finally, I didn't forget to share this because every single time I go live, I forget to share what's going on in my sphere. So if you want more of my support, I have a Telegram group called The Jungle. We are talking about the inner jungle and creating your own outer jungle in alignment with who you truly are. This month, we are focusing on next level leadership, and I drop trainings every single day in various shapes and forms, in video, in audio, in written form. Last month, we were focusing on becoming more visible, becoming more authentic, becoming more raw, owning who you truly are. And so you will have access to all of those trainings, and it's all for free. Just go in my bio, drop your email address, and you will have access to this Telegram group to daily trainings instantly. That is a place where magic happens. That is a place where I drop daily trainings to help you grow, to help you feel supported, to help you have insights. What is holding you back and how to really shift that around so that you move the needle, you move forward in your life, you create the life that you desire, the dream life that you envision. So come and join us. I will be super happy to see you. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Maria. Thank you, Carlson. Thank you, Vikram, Phil, Mimi, whoever joined me here. Thank you so much, and see you in the next live. And see you in the Telegram group as well. Ciao, ciao. Have a beautiful Sunday.